$100 a day.
Yeah, I have a friend that's doing that right now.
This place here, if you're retired and you're certified, like $100 a day. It's pretty good.
And you don't have to work the crazy hours.
I tell you what, that job almost killed me. They get me to come in at 7 instead of 2, or come in at 10.
All right, welcome everyone. Glad you're here this evening. This is the 25th. Do you have a gun? Shoot the gun? Get their attention?
Please no.
Don't shoot it.
Don't tase me, bro.
Welcome everyone. This is the 25th day of March of 2019. Very pleased. Well, we'll get to Mr. Miller in just a minute. I forgot the roll call. Ms.
Mayor Curley.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem King. Alderperson Blanks.
Here.
Duncan.
He's on his way.
All righty. Dunn. Here. Noes.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
We have a quorum, so we will proceed. We're very pleased that Matt Miller is with us again this evening. Ask him to step to the podium and offer our invocation. Ask everyone to please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you all again for this opportunity to come and offer prayer. I was asked to introduce myself. I guess I failed to do that last time. But my name is Matthew Miller. I'm the minister at Highland Hills Church of Christ. And it's a pleasure to be able to be here to serve. If it's okay, I want to offer up a prayer that's traditionally attributed to St. Francis. If you would bow with me. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, help us to sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, Lord, help us to be bearers of joy. O Divine Master, grant that we may not so much to seek to be consoled as to console others, to be understood, but rather to be more understanding, to be loved, but rather to be more loving. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Lord, this evening, ask this prayer and offer this prayer on behalf of the leaders of our community, both as leaders and servants, Lord, that everywhere they go, they can help to be bearers of hope, joy, and peace in our community. I ask this as a blessing and a prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Appreciate you being with us again. Thank you. Oh, you see we have someone new has joined us this evening as an honorary alderman. I'm very pleased to introduce Mr. Race Merritt. He's with us this evening. Race has a pretty remarkable resume. I'll read just part of it. He's a senior at Tullahoma High School. He graduated in May of this year with honors and distinction diploma. He has taken college preparatory courses with honors and advanced placement in algebra, English language and composition, biology, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, pre-calculus, calculus, physics, economics, government, chemistry, English language and composition, geometry, U.S. history, and world history. He is a member of the National Honor Society, Nu Alpha Theta, the Mathematics Honor Society. We'll learn more about that plan in a minute. National English Honor Society, Coffee County Youth Leadership, Advanced Placement Scholar with honors. He was the Eli Grow Legacy Award winner. He is the football class representative. He played and earned all kinds of recognition in his high school football career, his baseball career. He was the captain of the basketball team. He is the state winner in the DECA. And he was the Wendy's High School Heisman School winner. And, by the way, he's got a 4.354 GPA.
Come on now.
A very impressive young man. So, Race, tell us a little bit more about yourself, maybe what your plans are after graduation.
Yes, sir. Right now, I'm down to either Berry College or Birmingham Southern College, and where I'll attend in the fall. And I plan to play football at either of those schools, and I plan to be a mathematics major and secondary ed major at either of those schools. I want to be a high school or middle school math teacher and coach football.
So tell us what prompted your interest in math? You indicated you have loved math.
Oh yeah, I started loving math, I'd say in middle school, thanks to those teachers I had, and then the high school program is well known here for math, and it just, I fell in love with math because of the teachers, and just, I love the whole part of, you get one answer in math, and I would love to share how I've been taught to some students, because I know there's different ways you can teach math, and I think some ways are better than none, or other ones. And I want to be able to share that and come back and teach that to students in a certain way.
Yeah. So did you catch that? He said, "I plan to come back." Did you catch that?
I tell you what, he's also rare in one instance. He's a three-sport athlete, and in high school you used to have those every once in a while. Now you never have a three-sport athlete. They all dedicate themselves to one or two. But he being a three-sport athlete and doing what he's doing with his grades, outstanding.
Well, in other leadership areas as well.
I'm telling you, it's unreal.
Yeah, very remarkable, actually. I did ask him earlier if there were any other three-sport athletes in his graduation class, and
there may be a few, but I'm not totally sure.
So you do plan to consider coming back to Tullahoma?
I would like to.
Good.
So.
That's good. So your parents in the audience, please introduce them.
My dad's right there, it's Ray Marin, and my mom, Cindy Marin.
Yeah. I know they're both proud. So, any questions of Race? Let the record reflect that Mr. Duncan is joined. So, Race, if you don't mind, stand there at your desk, and we have a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman tonight. And Mom and Dad want to come up and take a picture too, if you've got a camera.
Please.
Got one? Good. Congratulations, Ray. I shared with Mr. Marin earlier that, with Race earlier, that we're all working really, really hard to try to design a community that young families and young people in general want to either remain here, return here, or relocate here. So it's really nice to hear that he does want to consider to come back to Tullahoma, and that's a great addition to Tullahoma. I'm sure you agree. Okay, we're ready for comments from citizens. Anyone in the audience wish to address the board at this time? Mr. Miller.
May I be allowed to share a wild brain idea? Just brief, 2 minutes.
No, you're fine. I just need for your record to state your name again.
I'm sorry.
And your address, please.
Sorry, and my address in the community. Matthew Miller, 316 Crestwood Drive, Tullahoma. For some time, I've been thinking about an idea, and I wanted to share it, and it could stay here. It may go nowhere, but I just wanted to share it. Alderman Blanks, though we've never formally met, each time I watch these online or I come, I hear you talk about shop local, right? And what if we could come up with a way to get people not only to shop local, but to keep all the economy local? And what I was thinking of is a local currency. There are other communities throughout the country that do this. Ithaca, New York, Pittsboro, North Carolina. Ithaca, New York has something called the Hours. Pittsboro, North Carolina has something called the Plenty. And what they've done is they've got local artisans to design a paper currency that corresponds one-to-one with the U.S. dollar. They get local banks to accept that and local businesses to accept that. And even employees can get paid either in Plenty or in U.S. dollars. But when you have a local currency, all that money stays in the community, right? It doesn't go anywhere else. But not only is it a local currency and it helps the economy, it's a sign of solidarity within each other. When you see that local currency in a transaction, it's not only a business transaction, it's a communal transaction, right? You see that, sorry, I'm nervous, I've never done anything like this, but
You're doing good.
You see that, and it's automatically a sign of community, right? No one else has that. And every time I grew up in Lynchburg, I would drive into Tullahoma, and on that sign it says, Tullahoma, a city as unique as its name. What could be more unique for a city than its own currency? for commerce and tourism, it's a novelty, right? They would buy it just because it's there and it's unique. But for people in the local community, and especially people wanting to start a local business, it's difficult to get to curate funds from a global or a U.S. economy for that. But if we have our own currency, it's easier to be able to curate that to help local businesses get started. So I just wanted to share that idea. It's an interesting idea to me. I've thought about it for many years. I don't know if it goes anywhere or even applies to anything that you guys are thinking, but I just wanted to share that today. Thank you.
Excellent. Good idea. Thank you. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor. I'm new to Tullahoma. I used to live in Manchester for several years, about 6 years.
But you got here as quick as
Since
you
I've
could,
been in the city of Tullahoma, down where I live, I call the city about picking up these mattresses. It might be 2 weeks, maybe a month before they pick them up. The suburbs are going to the dogs. You drive around the suburbs, the streets are terrible. The gutters are full of leaves and dirt, gravel. We got one house living next door to us. It's got a carp on the back roof, and that's against the codes. And I called the code company. They say that he's been fined for it, but he's still not doing the thing. He works every day of the week, even on Saturdays. And but my biggest problem, these vacant lots. There's one down across the street from us. A tree is down. The city has to keep it mowed. The guy who owns it has an apartment house there, and he don't care. We have a trailer across the street from us. They're just now ready to fix it up. How long it's going to stay like that, I don't know. But my biggest problem is this city not doing their job like they're supposed to. I don't know what their hours are. I don't know how many they got on the route. But you come up here in your city here, it's spotless. But the suburb areas, it seems like nobody does nothing to it. It's not just around my area. It's all over the other streets, like past the cemetery. There's houses that have been there empty for years. I can see. I drive around my area. It's a disaster. I mean, people just don't care. You go in Manchester, it's spotless. We lived right around Home Depot and apartments, and they took care of the grass and everything else. But Tullahoma maintenance, I don't know what's their problem. I called and called and called till I'm blue in the face. So if the city can do anything about this problem, I sure would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I need you to state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My name is James Schlegel. I live at 301 Thomas Street here in Tullahoma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm not sure it's as bad as you represent it to be, but there are areas, and I think you hit the nail on the head, that some people just don't care.
Tell me about it.
And some citizens don't care to maintain their property. So, but I agree with you. There are parts of Tullahoma that can and should be improved. But thank you.
They ought to be fined for it.
Right. Thank you. Mr. Stanley, if you would state your name and your address, please.
Greg Sandlin, 112 Thomas Wood Chase, Tullahoma. Yeah, I wanted to take just an opportunity to give you all an update on the Coffee County Public Building Authority. The good news is we are on track to meet our budget this year. We're subsidized by the county this year for $126,000, and that's Tullahoma tax dollars included in that, of course. And then the Manchester City matches that to $126,000. So that's what our conference center can lose this year, and we're on track to meet that budget. I did want to say I know the board's been active in a resolution regarding some issues that have come down recently. There were recent efforts to change our bylaws and give Manchester a third of set in seats, which I voted against that one, of course. Manchester only being 20% of the population. And we asked Mayor Cordell to get a formal CTAS review, and that confirmed that only the mayor of the county has the right to appoint members to the PBA. And then there was a kind of a second motion to get an MTAS review, which confirmed the CTAS review. So everything's working properly now. The mayor is appointing PBA board members, and the county commission is voting on them up or down. And that's working out well. And now there's as equal a representation as we can get on a 7-member board. There are 2 from Manchester, 2 from Tullahoma, myself and Stan Teal, and then 3 from the rural county. And there's another appointment that's soon to be made to backfill a spot. So everything seems to be working well. I think the added scrutiny of the budget has forced some cost savings, and we never expect the conference center to make money in this market, but we certainly want to lose as little as possible, and I think the board knows that call now, and that should be the way forward.
Good.
So I just wanted to give you an update.
Good report, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else, we're ready to proceed. All right, we're ready for board reports. Mr. Mathis, please, sir.
No report tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Mr. Duncan?
Thank you, Mayor. I apologize for being late. I did send the mayor a text that I was going to be possible to be a few minutes late. I've been all afternoon in Suwanee taking a class, a 3-hour course, and so did get that finished. And I'm going to go back tonight as soon as I leave here. They've got another event that's planned at the University of the South that I want to participate in. So that's all well and good. And I've done since our last meeting. Had several things going on. I did went to the mayor's luncheon. I believe that was the, anyway, I got a bunch of stuff on here, and I can't find it all right now. I've been very busy, though, and so, anyway, I'll leave it at that.
That's fine, thank you. Dr. Blanks?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Since our last meeting, there's been a Duck River meeting last week. Also, a Arts Council meeting, a phone-in meeting. Winston, we're getting geared up for the art show at the end of May. Everything's lining up well with that, as far as I know. Are you going to give us an update on that soon, or can you?
Yes.
Maybe the next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. TUA had a meeting in a subset with TUA. We had a policy committee meeting and also a compensation meeting, so a lot of meetings going on. They are +3 for light tube sign up for the month of February, so we're still trending upward. You know, that'll fluctuate a little bit. Sometimes in the summer it drops off for some reason, but we're still headed up that way. They're working on the solar little solar array that we're participating in. That's coming. We were delayed in that because of the weather. We've had, enough rain here in the city, and Normandy is up as high as it can get, I guess. So, other thing I'd like to mention is just to try to remember to shop local, please. That helps us out.
There you go.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Blanks.
You're welcome.
Ms. Dillon?
Sure. I went to the Tullahoma Housing Authority meeting last week, and they're at 97% occupancy, and they're ordering, they try to be really preemptive about making sure that they order appliances and different things in a timely manner. And so right now they're ordering fire-resistant stovetops, so I thought that was kind of cool. I went to a TML conference with Alderman Duncan and Miss Moody, and that was very informative. They had the TBI, the head of the TBI was there talking about different safety issues, very interesting. The Go Green meeting is going to be next week on Monday, and that's definitely an open meeting. Anybody who wants to go, it's at 5 o'clock in the conference center, our conference room downstairs in City Hall. So that's open to the public. Anybody who wants to participate in that is welcome to come. I went to the watercolor exhibit that was at the art center. That was wonderful. I was so glad that I got a chance to go, and nobody came with me. I was all by myself, so it was fantastic. And then I don't know if y'all have had a chance to see Colin Sharan's video, but he's a young man here in town, and it was just so well done. I was very impressed. So, but that's what I've been up to lately.
I'm disappointed you did not share with your children.
The watercolor
The
exhibit?
watercolor.
Oh, no, that was a gift to Tullahoma that I didn't, so. No, it was watercolor. No.
I've been around your family. They're very disciplined and.
No, they're not.
I was trying.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Novus.
Thank you, Mayor. Since our last meeting, I attended the Airport Authority Board meeting, and the meeting at the Arnold Community Council is last Tuesday. So those were nice events. I also did a tour of Arnold Engineering Development Center, which was something I hadn't done in many years. That's quite an establishment that we have in our back door here. I believe that's the only thing I've done recently, besides just routine work.
Good, thank you. Mr. Barron?
Last week, I had an opportunity to speak to some students. One of the elementary schools had a career day, and some of the students wanted to hear about the career of coaching. And they had them come down to the field house at the high school, and I was able to speak to them with me wanting to pursue coaching. So I was able to speak with them about coaching and why I wanted to be a coach and kind of the athletics here at the high school. This week, I have a baseball game tomorrow and Wednesday against Franklin County. And last week at the high school, we nominated for superlatives. So, and we have prom coming up. So, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So, just a couple of things. Coffee County Day on the Hill is not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 3rd. Those of you that want to go, I think there's a school bus going up if you want to take the school bus. Welcome to.
That's separate from leadership. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'd already signed up for leadership, but I might just
Yeah.
go with school bus.
Yeah, I think Miss the honorary the youth mayor Abby Nelson has already got 17 to 20 people signed up to go.
Okay.
Wow. On the school bus. Yeah. So don't forget about the naming opportunity at Short Springs on April the 7th. The volunteer banquet to recognize the individuals that serve on the various city government.
That's the 10th.
The 18th.
18th.
I believe. The 27th is Arbor Day. We got some Earth Day and Arbor Day activities going on. And then on May the 2nd is the employee banquet to recognize tenure, service awards, correct. And I neglected at the last meeting all of us that participated in the what I like most about Tullahoma recognition at South Jackson. You know, I always receive, and I hope you do as well, some compliments from parents and that. But I forgot to give attribution to Mr. Brooks. You know, I just show up and hand out, along with you, certificates. Mr. Brooks is the one that spent most of the part of the day down there organizing it, got the things all together along with Miss Morrison. So that was another Brooks production, and everybody did a good job. We're ready for the city attorney's report. Mr. Worsham.
I don't have a report tonight.
Okay, good thing. Miss Moody.
I will share a thank you to all of you and our residents as well that participated in our North Jackson streetscape planning meetings. We had invited about 65 participants, and many of them gave really good, valuable input that I can't wait to see the report and the plan that comes from those ideas. Once a draft plan is put together, we will have another public meeting, so anybody that has not yet given input, you'll have another opportunity to do so. This week, I'll just share a couple other things of interest. This week, I will be taking a tour of Motlow's campus, so I'm excited to do that and meet with Dr. Torrance. And next week, I will be out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the Tennessee City Managers Conference. We do one every spring and every fall, and this one is in Knoxville. So hopefully I'll have something good to report when I get back.
Good. Yes, sir.
I addressed something that I forgot. I did attend the Farm Bureau breakfast on Saturday morning at Alderman Noyes Alderman Noyes I know was there, and that was an annual event, the meeting with our legislators, and it's good to see Rush Bricken in his new title down there. So, and immediately left there and went to Shorter Chapel. And I have to say something about this. Shorter Chapel AME Church here in town, and they had a program where they had several speakers coming in, and one was from Fran Gray from Alzheimer's. They had a group out of Nashville that is involved in bullying. That is an anti-bully group, and that was, they had a great presentation. But one of our finest presenters, though, I think, was the Tullahoma Police Department, and Corporal Smith gave a talk about drugs and the different types of drugs that they're confronted with every day. He's also on another task force, I believe. I forget what he said it was at the moment, but they gave an excellent presentation, and and I'm just. It touched my heart to know that what's going on and how passionate he was about this, and if there's any way that we can help with that, that program they've got going, I know we will, and but it was, he did, I have to say that he did an excellent, he made an excellent presentation.
Good.
So
Good.
everything was good.
Good. To tie into what Mr. Miller was talking about earlier, Ms. Wilson shared with me the retail sales report for the month of January, which is the most recent month that the retail sales are available. I don't have, and I don't believe anyone in Tullahoma has access to what the individual store sales are. It's just the aggregate total. January of 2019 compared to January of 2018, we were up over 6.5%, which is pretty impressive, actually. Yeah, good report. So, Dr. Blanks, thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
All right, we have a consent agenda, several items. I'll read the caption. Item number 1937, minutes of the March 11, 2019 regular meeting. Item 1938, approved bids and award contracts for mowing, landscaping, and grounds maintenance to G&G Lawn Care and Mid-South Contractors for services related to the Tullahoma Municipal Airport Authority and areas maintained by Planning and Codes, Parks and Rec, and Public Works. Item number 1939, approve a request from the General Federation of Women's Club, Tullahoma Women's Club, for sign permit fee waiver related to temporary signage promoting national awareness of Child Abuse Month during the month of April. Item number 1940, approve an application to the Tennessee Department of Health's Project Diabetes Program for grant funding to support the purchase of lighting of a fitness trail and basketball court proposed for construction in Silver Street Park. 1941, approve the addition of insured cash sweep, or ICS, and CDARS as approved investment options for the City of Tullahoma and authorize the mayor to execute banking arrangements. 1942, approve a change order for the Rock Creek Greenway construction project in the amount of $7,700 for additional drainage improvements identified during construction, increasing the total contract amount to $197,840 to $205,540 with no additional contract time. And item number 1943, approve a contract with Executive Protection Bureau to provide professional security services to support the Arts Alive Tullahoma Arts Festival. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Sir. A motion by Mr. Mathis, second by Mr. Norris. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Race, we're not looking at you, we're looking at the note board up there. All right, Ms. Moody, any other old business?
No.
All right, we have one item of new business, resolution number 1786, to consider approval of a resolution in support of a memorial to honor veterans and their families at History Park in Tullahoma, Tennessee. You've all had an opportunity to read the resolution. Is there a motion in support of the resolution?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dr. Blank, second by Mr. Duncan. Any discussion?
I'd like to commend Ms. Abram for bringing
Sure.
this to our attention.
Yep.
I talked to her a couple of months ago, I guess, or 6 weeks ago, and then she came to a meeting, presented. I was not here, but I appreciate all the hard work. I know that, like the mayor said, things just don't happen. There's always somebody behind the scenes working hard and pushing things to the forefront. So I appreciate all your work. There may be others
Good
too
point.
that's work.
Yeah, good point. Excellent point. Other discussion? All those in favor of the resolution number 1786, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Ms. Moody, any other new business?
No.
We will adjourn and go into the beer board portion of the agenda. We have one item on the consent agenda, item number 19, BB08, minutes of the March 11th, 2019 Beer Board meeting. Is there a motion to?
So moved.
Top of Mr. Mathis, seconded by Mr. Noes. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. We have one item of new business, item number 19, BB09, beer application off-premises permit for Brothers Local Market, manager Jennifer Harmon, with owners Jeff Dameron and Jay Dameron, 735 Clement Drive. So is Miss Harmon here? No.
She couldn't be here.
Okay, well, that's fine. Can one of you step to the podium for just a minute?
Yeah.
Does the other brother not want to come up?
Oh.
Are y'all really brothers?
Yes.
I see them all the time. They are excellent community.
I see them all the time, too. I had them in school.
Uh-oh.
Both of them.
What kind of students were they?
They were okay.
I'm sure they were. They're excellent corporate partners. But you do understand the sale of beer is a serious responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you received a copy of the beer laws of Tullahoma?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you read those? Or any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. No questions?
No questions.
All right. So what we're always interested to hear, what will you put in place that will preclude an employee selling beer to a minor?
So current employees and the new staff that we'll hire, we have a 2-hour training course that a member of our organization, they do online. It's called the Responsible Vendor, and it's equivalent to 2 hours of training. We also have 3D scanners that read all 50 state licenses, fronts and backs, which is above and beyond what is required.
Okay.
Each person is given a certificate, and it's good for, I think is it every year?
It's every year.
Every year. So it's every year now. So they have to, even the ones that have been there have to take it every year now.
Good.
So.
I wasn't aware of that.
That keeps them up to date with things
Yeah.
that change throughout the year. That way, in the past it was 5 years. A lot of things changed in that time, so now it's annually.
Yeah, good. And there are organizations that teach that class as well, if you wanted that in-house.
Yeah, we've worked with the Anti-Drug
Okay.
Coalition before in Manchester, and that group, because, we've kind of grown in size a little bit, it's easier to do.
Sure.
We have a person that's a certified trainer now that works for us that we paid extra money for, so that when they're taking the online class, he can't assist them in taking the class, but if they have a malfunction like computer-wise or, maybe need a little leeway on explaining a question or something, that's what he's there for.
Good. Any questions of the Damerons? So the chair will entertain a motion that we
Move to
approve.
approve.
Second.
Now, is this subject to the final fire inspection? So, a motion by Mr. Mathis, is that correct? You made the motion, subject to the final fire inspection.
Right.
And who seconded it? I'm
I
sorry.
did.
Dr. Blanks. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you for
Congratulations.
investing in our community.
Yeah. So when do you plan to open?
Maybe 10 days.
Oh,
We've been
okay.
fighting the weather for a
Yeah,
year.
sure. Yeah.
We're getting close.
Yep. Ms. Moody, any other Beer Board business you're aware?
No.
Seeing none, we are adjourned. Have a safe evening.
Thank you.